All right, let's get right into one of the most brilliant fictional escapes you'll ever come across. This isn't just about breaking out of jail. It's a plan built on so many layers of deception that it fooled an entire prison. Seriously, this is a masterclass in misdirection.
So think about this for a second. How in the world do you escape a maximum security prison with just office supplies and a hat? It sounds absolutely impossible, right? Well, for one inmate, these were pretty much the only tools he needed to pull off a jailbreak so clever, it left the authorities completely questioning their own eyes.
To really get the plan, you first have to understand the man behind it. His name is Evans, but pretty much everyone calls him Evans to break. And trust me, it's a nickname he has earned over and over by making a habit of disappearing from prisons that are supposed to be inescapable.
Now, this whole incredible story doesn't kick off with a riot or a big dramatic showdown. No, it starts with something that sounds almost normal, a seemingly innocent request from Evans. He wants to take an O-level German language exam.
The governor of the prison hears this and, alarm bells are just ringing in his head. He knows exactly who he's dealing with. So he sees this not as some educational pursuit, but as a personal challenge. A real battle of wits between him and the infamous Evans the Break.
Okay, so the stage is set, and what happens next is this incredible chess match. On one side, you've got the full weight of the prison's security, and on the other, you have the quiet, careful, and incredibly cunning planning of a genius.
The governor is not messing around. He leaves nothing to chance. The cell is torn apart, anything that could even look like a weapon is taken away, the guy coming in to proctor the exam gets frisked, and they've got Evans on a live mic and an officer glued to the peephole. I mean, on paper, this setup is completely airtight. What could possibly go wrong?
But here's the brilliant part. While the guards are busy looking for all the obvious escape tools, files, shivs, ropes, Evans's actual escape kit is being brought in right under their noses. These things look so random and harmless, but they're the key pieces to his unbelievably bold plan.
And this is just genius. The rubber ring is maybe the most crucial item for the escape. So how do you hide it in plain sight? You give it a cover story that's so embarrassing that the guards are too uncomfortable to question it or inspect it too closely.
So, exam day arrives. All the pieces are in place. But what looks like a simple German test is really just the opening act for the main event that's about to unfold.
Now, take a look at this timeline. Each of these events on its own seems perfectly normal. A correction for a test paper? Plausible. A prisoner getting cold? Happens all the time. A call from a magistrate? Sure. But these aren't random. Not at all. These are perfectly timed cues, all orchestrated by Evans's team on the outside.
Finally, the exam is over. The invigilator is escorted out of the cell, and you can almost feel the whole prison breathe a collective sigh of relief. The governor's thinking, we did it, we beat him. But then, an officer decides, you know what, I'm just going to take one last look inside that cell. And what he finds is absolute chaos. The man they all believe is McCleary is slumped in the chair, covered in blood, looking like he's been badly injured. And Evans? He's vanished. The conclusion is immediate and obvious. Evans must have attacked the poor guy and escaped disguised as him.
The performance here is just flawless. The injured man, gasping for breath, doesn't just play the part of the victim, he becomes the star witness. He actually starts pointing the authorities toward a fake escape route that was cleverly planted on the exam paper itself.
So the governor, he's bought it completely, hook, line, and sinker. He sends the injured McCleary off with the police to go chase down Evans. But as the adrenaline starts to fade, he gets that nagging feeling. A few of the details just don't add up.
His first clue that something is seriously wrong comes from a really simple phone call. He calls the hospital where McCleary was supposedly taken, and the person on the other end says, McCleary? No, we don't have any patient by that name.
Okay, so that's weird. He starts digging a little deeper. He finds out, an ambulance was called, but it didn't go to the prison. It went to the examination board building, and when it got there, the patient had simply disappeared.
And that is the horrifying moment of truth for the governor. The moment the floor just drops out from under him. The man he thought was the victim, the guy he literally put in a car to help catch the criminal, was actually the criminal himself.
I mean, just stop and think about the sheer audacity of this plan. Evans never escaped from the cell. He walked out the front door, disguised as the injured man,
The victim wasn't a victim at all. That blood? Nope, just pig's blood he had hidden in that rubber ring. This wasn't just an escape, it was a psychological masterpiece. Evans literally tricked the governor into being an accomplice in his own getaway. But you've got to give the governor some credit. He's been humiliated, but he is not a fool. He's determined. He pieces together the real clues from that exam paper and actually tracks Evans down to a hotel room at the Golden Lion. He's got him. So Evans is cornered, caught red-handed. But does he panic? Not at all. He just calmly congratulates the governor and then lays out the whole beautiful scheme for him, almost like an artist explaining his work. It really looks like he's accepted that he's been beaten. But of course, Evans had one more layer to the plan. The governor, feeling victorious, puts him into what he thinks is a secure prison van. He has no idea that the prison officer inside and the driver of the van are not prison staff at all. They're Evans's friends. The final act of the escape is the easiest one of all.
And that's the real kicker, isn't it? This was never just about breaking out of a cell. Evans' plan actually included getting caught again, just so he could pull off a final, completely foolproof escape. It really makes you wonder, when you're up against a mind that's always 2 steps ahead, can any physical walls, any prison, ever truly be strong enough to hold it?